Good morning, everyone. I'm Matthew, and we are the Scoops. Today, I'm going to be getting some soil together and start amending and topping off all of our bags, or at least as many of them as I can. We do have quite a bit of soil to mix up. We got pretty much everything we need yesterday, at least to get started on this, so let's get to work. Alright, so we got all that moved back here, and I'll tell you what, it gets heavy after a while. So as far as what we're using to mix here, though, it's the same stuff that we generally use. One of our first videos was actually us mixing soil, and not much has changed since that point. It's just basically peat moss, garden soil, and composted manure. I mean, that's the main stuff. I'll throw in a little bit of lime in it just to kind of bring down the acidity a little bit, especially because of the peat moss. Peat moss tends to be a little on the acidic side, and then of course obviously the manure, and I don't want to burn the plants. So normally we mix this up in little totes. Well, I ain't doing that today, because I got a lot that I'm going to be mixing up, a whole lot. So what we're going to do, I think, is I'm going to go ahead and move all this out of the way, and I'm going to use this as our mixing area. That way I can do a whole big pile of it. I can just shovel it into the containers, and because it's brick, obviously I'm not going to be able to get it all up, but whatever is left behind, we can just spray off and it'll be just fine. So I would do it on the patio area here, and work under the shade. Probably actually should do that, to be honest. Let's see what we're going to do here. Alright, so we decided we're just going to do it right here on the patio. Got a tarp I'm actually going to lay down for easier cleanup. So let's get to mixing. that's a little bit of a workout. All right, I think that's pretty good for now. So let's start filling some containers. So I've got most of the first section done. I'm starting on the back section of the garden area, plus the smaller 20-gallon bags. I'm starting to run out of soil that I've pre-mixed here, so I'm going to go ahead and mix in this last bag of garden soil, the manure, and then part of the peat moss. So basically, the ratio is kind of a 1 to 3. So 3 bags of the garden soil that I'm using. So every 3 bags of those, that's 9 cubic feet. I'm using 1 bag of peat moss, which is 3 cubic feet. And then I'm also using 3 bags of the manure, which is 1.5 cubic feet. So I'm going to try to kind of somewhat keep that ratio. I'm a little light on some of it. What I don't have though is any more perlite, which is okay. I think there's still enough in the soil here to be okay. Plus the peat moss will also help with the drainage as well. That's the only thing the peat moss is, or the perlite is actually in there for, is drainage. But I think I'll be okay. I'm not too worried about it. So let's go ahead, get that last bit kind of mixed up there, and hopefully have enough to top off at least all the smaller bags. I'm confident I will not have enough to actually do anything with the 100-gallon bags, just because that's a lot of soil. Now, one thing I have done with some of these have compacted considerably more than others, and there's a reason for that. Some of these, like my first bags I started, is nothing but soil. Okay. Now the second round of filling the bags, though, we bottom filled the bags with straw hay. Okay. And you can do that with, your hay. You can do it with leaves if you have leaves that have fallen from your trees, small branches and things of that nature. Anything that will break down over time. Okay, so that's why I like the straw hay. It's relatively inexpensive. So anyway, because of that, that straw of course compacts and degrades and whatnot over time, and that caused the levels to shrink a lot more. So because of that, those bags need more to fill it up. Well, what I've done is kind of the same concept. I've added another layer of straw to it to kind of fill up some of that void, which of course will break down over time. And then I add my soil on top of it. And so far doing that, we've actually had good success with it. I could see where it would have some potential to maybe cause some issue with maybe fungus or something. We've not experienced that, but I could see where that might be an issue. I'm not sure though, to be honest. Like I said, we've not had any issue with it. So I'm going to get back to mixing up what little I've got here and continue filling the bags. All right, well, I've got as much done as I can. Out of soil now, but I'll say it went a lot further than I thought it would. I pretty well managed to top off every empty bag that we had, both the 30 and the 20 gallons, and the majority of the tall 100-gallon bag. The only one that I wasn't able to touch is the two shallow 100-gallon bags in the back there. That's tiring. It's time consuming, but it's going to be worth it. So I'm going to water these down, get in there, and I think they've about got some lunch done for me, and get on with the rest of the day. So I think that's going to do it for me today. Stay tuned. We'll be transplanting here in the near future. Some of them I think are actually ready to begin hardening off. I'll go over more on that process probably on the next video actually. So until that time comes, thank you, and we'll see you on the next one.